into the world. And here we go. So our agenda, we're going to jump into our business overviews here in just a second. We'll have time for some questions and answers. We have some queued up we'll ask to get our brains going, but also want to allow some time for students who are in attendance today. Feel free to put those questions in the comment box, and the three of us will make sure to facilitate those in, just in case I have any other technical issues. And once we have shared our screen and the employers get to have their time sharing with us, we'll just be seeing each other's faces either way. So I'll make sure I co-host Desiree and Kara just in case I have to disappear. So today we're in Zoom, just a quick overview. If you do have any issues, try turning off your video. It can help with your bandwidth. And as you know, that chat box, depending on the type of device that you're tuning in, you might have to scroll around to find it a little bit, but be sure to use that chat if you've got questions. Also, feel free to unmute and use your voice. We definitely have the time for you to ask questions verbally or submit it through the chat. So today we have Mark Papko, who's the Director of Operations from the Duluth Airport Authority, Kelly and Taomi. I hope I'm saying that right. She'll have a chance to fix that if I am not. Both work in human resources for L&M Radiator, and then Caitlin Rogers, who's the human resource generalist at ZMC. So I'm going to stop this share. We're going to hand it over to Mark, and then we'll go to Kelly and Caitlin.
Perfect. Thanks, Alyssa. I appreciate the introduction. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me get my screen up. Always got to love the virtual meetings and the technical difficulties. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, welcome everybody. Like Alyssa said, my name is Mark Papko. I'm the Director of Operations for the Duluth Airport Authority. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we do here at the airport. Besides what you see from outside the fence, the airport is an extremely complicated and diverse world, and I'll try to jam it in 5 or 6 minutes to give you guys enough time to ask questions and engage. And I'm excited that everybody's here, and it's not too long ago that I was sitting in your seats, and hopefully can help pass along some of the stuff that helped me along the way. So. Who we are is the Airport Authority legislation. The Duluth Airport Authority Act of 1969 is what actually created the Duluth Airport Authority. We have 7 directors. They are appointed by the Mayor of Duluth and City Council, serving 3-year terms. Our actual DA staff specific to the Duluth Airport Authority is actually only 22 employees, which is quite amazing as I start to go through some of these other slides. If you think about how much infrastructure and how much we do on the day-to-day, 22 employees, we're extremely lean staff. What it doesn't mean, though, is that the airport is in a larger network and family that has a lot of employment needs. So just a quick brief of our mission and vision. Our vision is to be a world-class aviation center that drives economic and connects the region to the global economy. The mission, Duluth Airport Authority is committed to delivering a superior airport experience in a safe and secure environment while enriching the region's economy. So again, 2 main themes over there is safe and secure, and then connecting the region to the economy in a larger network. So that's a quick overview of who we are as an airport authority. The airport is a larger economic driver because of all we have here. You'll see here on the top left bullet, $760 million is what we can produce from a direct, indirect, and induced impact standpoint. For the economists in the crowd, that's a massive number for such a small region in Duluth and the greater Twin Ports area. So the airport authority actually, or the airport, produces almost just over 6,000 jobs as a direct result of the airport being here where it is in Duluth. We have major aviation employers. It looks like you saw one earlier at the previous session, but the 148, Cirrus, Lake Superior College, Monaco Air are all massive employers here within the airport boundaries. Continued growth. The airport, although the pandemic has stifled quite a bit, it is just going to be a little bit of a blip in the history as we project in the next 10 years that there's going to be over 1,000 new jobs created at Duluth International Airport. Who we support in the region, we support almost 500,000 residents and major employers within the region that utilize our facilities in one way or another. Just a quick slideshow of some of the big partners that we have here at the airport. You'll note I left AAR on the screen, even though AAR pulled out due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We are hopeful that a similar provider will end up filling that facility and vacate, putting jobs back into the market that were lost with AAR's departure. So an exciting group and a diverse group that all utilize the airport. So a little bit about the physical assets. 3,100 acres within the airport's control, a large piece of land, again, talking in respect to how many employees manage it. We have 2 runways. Our primary runway is 10,591 foot, and then the secondary crosswind runway is 5,700 foot. We have instrument approaches, which means that we can handle aircraft in inclement weather. So we don't have to have just a bright and sunny day to get aircraft in and out. We can handle stuff down to quite a bit of lower minimums. We do have a 24/7 air traffic control tower, and then specific property that is available for future development and a lot of more growth as we see businesses coming to the airport. Just a quick stat that I thought was interesting. If you combined all of our pavement here that we have at the airport, that's over 75 miles of city street that we need to maintain. So a large infrastructure. If you think about that in the middle of a winter snowstorm, it can be a taxing event. A quick update of the air service industry as a whole and how it kind of relates to DLH. The airline industry, although it plays a big factor into DLH, it's not all of what we do, but it's just something to point out because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think it's relevant to see that airline and the airport industry is really truly tied to the economic strength of the region and the larger economy. So you can see the dips in airline traffic and the relation to the economic recession. You can see another major dip that's going to come off of this screen as we go into 2020 and 2021. But what we're hopeful for is what happens after the dip, and that's the climb up to the top again to the peak levels, and we're hoping we can get back there. Not one that's a super relevant one, but one that's a good understanding. If you took an average flight of 100 passengers, and it gives you a peek behind the airline's kind of secret curtain. If you put 100 people on a plane, what of those need to happen in order to for an airline to make profit, and what does each cost? So 29 of those seats are fuel. 20 of them are accustomed to the salaries of the pilots, the mechanics, the ground handlers, everybody in network planning. 16 seats is due to ownership costs and structure within that. 14 seats of those are dedicated to government fees, taxes. 11 is maintenance. 9 is just the miscellaneous other charges. What it means is that the profit can come down to one or a couple of seats. What that means is that, especially in a region like ours, we need to have full aircraft in order for airlines to remain profitable. So when you think about it, every time you see an empty aircraft and you get a whole row to span out, that's not always a great thing for an airport or an airliner. So we like to see full aircraft. Obviously, with the COVID world the way it is right now, we don't see those as often. But we're hopeful that they can return. But again, not a super relevant one to the airport specifically, but it's a good understanding basis for some of the other employers and folks within the region. Another thing that, although has lost some visibility with the pandemic, still is looming, and that's the pilot shortage. The majority of airports that are going to airlines that are going to see mass pilot shortages is going to be insurmountable. So the visibility on this was vast before the pandemic, and it lost a little bit, but it's coming back. It only helped by pilots being forced into retirement. There is a mandatory retirement age for most pilots, and what that means is that if we don't have that new influx of pilots coming in and doing the flight training and getting on board with a smaller airline, we're not going to have pilots fill the seats, and that's going to be a major issue. So specifically here at DLH, a quick overview of our operations. We have almost 67,000 takeoffs and operations in 2018, and the data lags a little bit. So we will have updated numbers for 2019 and 20. But what that means is 182 operations, and an operation is defined as a takeoff or a landing. So if you think about it, we have 182 aircraft on average that take off and land per day. That's a busy airport, and that's a busy economic driver. I just think about every time one of those aircraft touches down or takes off, that's money being made at some point within the cycle. That equates to 91 flights per day. And here's a quick breakdown of the aircraft mix. So 77% of that is general aviation, and general aviation classifies as anything from a business flying to a student pilot flying around in the pattern and getting its flight training hours in. So the majority of our traffic is equated to general aviation. 15% is commercial, and then 9% is military traffic with the 148 here on site. A couple of our current and planned routes, and I apologize that I'm going through this extremely fast. This presentation is usually about 50 slides, but I was trying to cut it down to make it as relevant as I could. So the red solid lines are what we currently have for service. The green is charter, and then the red dash ones are some of the areas that are in high demand and data that we see people flying through that use DLH. So the analytics and the data behind where you guys are and where you travel when you book tickets and fly through DLH, we're able to capture all that and determine where the majority of people that are using DLH, where they're ending up and where they're flying as their final destination. We're able to use that data to then further target and entice future routes and airlines. Airport has some hand in that, but the majority of that is based off of airlines' willingness and desire to fly a certain route. So we more so provide the data, give them the information, and hope that they're able to make an investment. So again, these aren't, there's nothing in the pipelines for any of these, but these are what we see as high demand as we go through all of our analytics on a monthly basis. Getting into a quick specific one, I'll put a plug here for airport management internships. We developed an internship program this year. It's currently posted. It closes on Monday, I believe. You could get to see it from the DAA website. It's a 14-week program, May 17th-ish through August 20th. And that'll be pending the student schedule. But what is really cool and what you'll get to see, and something that I'll talk about in the Q&A session a little bit, that you get to spend 1 to 2 weeks in each of the following departments. And airports, you might think that everybody that works at the DAA is an aviation guru and an airport person. That's not the case whatsoever. Actually, the majority of our staff has nothing to do with aviation nor any background in it. You think about the airport is still a business and an operation that still needs to run. We have marketing people, we have finance people, we have business development people, we got facilities managers, and then we do have some airport specific ones that have that background, but it's an exciting little city here is what I like to call it. So if you think about the airport as a holistic solution, it takes all those different entities and all those different skill sets to accomplish the one goal. And like I said, most people just see an airplane flying out the sky, but there's a lot that goes behind that aircraft getting the wheels off the ground. So looking forward to the questions that you guys have. And I guess in essence of time, I'll pass it back over to you, Alyssa.
Hey, Mark, it's Kara from North Forest. I have a question for you. Can you talk a little bit about the benefits that somebody might have working with Duluth Airport Authority?
Yes. So you'd think that there is a ton, and besides the actual employment and obviously good benefits and all that good stuff, the airport doesn't, it's not like we get free flights because we're an authority. One of our employers here, Unify or Delta or United Airlines, if you're an employee of those, you would get free flight benefits, which is an amazing benefit. And a lot of people do work for those type of employers just to get that benefit. But the airport authority itself is just, it's just a great employer to work for. Flexible hours, you do get free parking when you come to the airport and travel. That's one benefit, I guess you'll say. But the majority of our benefits lie within the company's culture and workplace.
Yeah, so that's awesome. We talk a lot about culture. So like, what do you like working for the Airport Authority? Like as an organization, can you dive into the culture a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you'll see, obviously it's a smaller team, but what it is that everybody here truly enjoys what they do, and they end up loving what they do. And there's that saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think the majority of people here truly believe in it. So what we do is exciting. It's fun. I get to look out my window and watch airplanes fly all day, and we get to work on unique and fun and exciting projects. And just to see that the impact that you can have as an individual and what it means to the larger community and organization. You saw the numbers there when it came to the EIS statement there. It's amazing the amount of benefit that you receive just from I guess pushing the airport forward, whether it's getting new routes, helping flight instructors and students get off the ground, enticing a new business to come in. It's a truly rewarding experience. The culture is one that's super fun. We truly embrace a work-life balance. So while we're here, we do keep the airport open, and that's a task and job. We also enjoy making sure that we can enjoy time outside of the airport because it is demanding, especially in those long winter months when we're out plowing snow all the time. It's good to break away on a nice sunny day and do some stuff. So we just recently did company mission, vision, and values, and a lot of our values do reflect that of what we have. So
Awesome. Sounds great. I think we might have some other questions here. Desiree, do you have anything here?
No, not right now.
We can go,
Oh.
we could go to L&M and then ZMC and open up for questions too.
Cool. Thanks, Mark.
All right, so we'll open it up to Kelly. If you have anything you want to share, feel free. You've got control of the screen.
Oh, perfect. We do. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kelly Furling. I'm HR supervisor here at L&M Radiator. I have been here for 6 years. Taomi Bloom is my HR rep, so she helps me with all the recruiting and the connection with applicants, getting them through the front door and getting them through our process. So I invited her to be with us a day in case somebody had a question more specific for her that she could answer a lot better than I can. L&M Radiator has been in business for over 60 years. We do customized engineered heating and cooling systems for mining, oil, gas, and heavy construction industries. So I do have a short video that I do want to show you. It does kind of show basically what our shop looks like inside. A year ago, we went through a $21 million expansion to our facility to upgrade it, to make it more modern and get it technology up to date. So I do want to show you that. We are worldwide. Everything that we build and design here out of Hibbing goes all the way across the world. Some of our major OEM customers are Caterpillar, Komatsu, Sandvik, Liebherr. They are, make up about 80% of our business. We also service our local industries such as Cleveland Cliffs, Atlas Copco, some of the smaller entities in our aftermarket world. So today we have several openings, so we're excited to talk about that later when we get into the chat rooms. But first, I think Tana and I would like to share a video and then kind of go into a little bit more about L&M. So bear with me, I'll share my screen. First of all, can everybody see that? Maybe nobody can see that yet.
Now we can see your screen.
Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So that kind of just gave a really quick overview of kind of the layout. So as you saw, the copper building piece, that was our new addition for our admin building. And then within the shop, you could actually see the layout of our production floor. Everybody that was in that video is actually an employee at L&M. And like I said, we've been in business for over 60 years. We are the top in our industry for what we create and build and make. It goes through a very specific design process. When our customers call for orders, it has to go through a customized process through our design engineers and our application engineers to help fix our customers' problems. And that's really what we're doing. We're solution-based product. So when they have a very unique heating or cooling situation or issue, they call our company to come in to help them figure out how to find a good solution. So we do a lot of work with power generation plants, especially up in Alaska, where there's a lot of remote villages. So we are able to help them with their cooling systems for their power plants. We also, from one extreme to the other, we also work with NASA. We've been working on their launch pads to keep their launch pads cool during launch. So that's been kind of a new thing for us in the last couple of years, which has been really exciting. But we also help a lot of our customers in the mining, oil, and gas industries, because when there's downtime, it affects their bottom line. So the unique thing about our product is that with the high quality and its variance in temperature and extreme volatile environments, our customers are able to minimize that downtime, putting more money in their pocket. So like mining in our backyard, if there is a haul truck or a mine truck that is out, as you see kind of in our background, if they're out and about and they get debris and they wreck a tube in the radiator, most of the time our competitors, they would have to bring that haul truck into the maintenance shop, and that truck could be down for 2-3 days while it's getting a new radiator. With our radiator, that driver can literally hop out of its truck, shut the system down, take out the tubes and the seals that are causing problems, reinsert a new tube and seal, and keep on going. So it keeps their production downtime to a very low minimum. So even though we're the most expensive on the market, we are the best value on the market over time. And that's where our customers really value our product, because our radiators and cooling systems outlast the equipment that they're installed in. So that's kind of our niche. We go all around the world. We do have several plants. Hibbing has a plant, and it's also the headquarters. So like I said, any designs that we have from our customers start here in Hibbing. And then we also have a plant in Yankton, South Dakota, and then also in Antofagasta, Chile, and then Perth, Australia, and then we also have a plant down in Mexico. So it's kind of unique. It's kind of nice to know that what we're designing and building is all over the world, and it services all our customers all over the world. So I don't really have a formality as far as introducing L&M. I'm just very passionate about L&M. Tay and I have been here, you know, we kind of regrouped the HR department. We have a people first culture. We're very family orientated. It's been in second generation a family. And so that tradition is carried on through to the employees. And so when you talk about the type of benefits that we have, of course, we want to take care of our people. So we actually shape our benefits around what our employees want and need. We do have the full platform as far as medical, dental, vision. We have short-term, long-term disability. We offer free life insurance after an employee's been here a year. Should something happen to them, we want to take care of their family. We offer PTO, 401k match. We have profit sharing, production bonuses to keep that production moving and flowing. We also have, you know, kind of the unspoken benefits that maybe some companies don't do that kind of set us apart. Are those Christmas parties and the picnic parties and bringing Santa in for the kids. And, you know, next week we'll be handing out Easter hams and Easter buckets, and Easter bunny comes. And, you know, Halloween, we have the pumpkins. And, you know, we used to do haunted houses when COVID wasn't around. So we've kind of adapted and shifted and changed a little bit to, you know, to kind of stay compliant but still being able to give back to the employees, because without them, we have nothing. We could have the best product on the market, but it's our people that really make up L&M. And we're going through a time of change right now where there's a lot of retirement going on. So that opens up a lot of growth for us internally. So for our culture, we like to promote within. We do a lot of promoting. Our longest standing employee has been here with us for 50 years. And, and as they migrate out, people are able to move up and in. Most of our senior management team has made up of people that started on our production floor and have moved into team leads and supervisor roles and now managerial roles. And they've been here for a really long time. So I'm pretty proud of that. And it is definitely like family. We're here to solve our customers' problems. We're here to help each other and empower each other. And that's really the sense that you get when you walk through our front doors. We do try to stay up on all the technology to work smarter, not harder. So we've adapted the 5 S principles, the lean manufacturing principles for any of those that aren't just in manufacturing or been in manufacturing companies. And we are also ISO certified. So when you make a product, you can be pretty proud of when it leaves the store that it's certified. We put our stamp on it. Our customers love us. We don't have a lot of rework or a lot of warranty work. So you know that you can be proud of the products that we're making and putting out the door, just like the people that we hired to build those products. I don't know, I guess you guys have questions. I mean, I could talk about L&M all day. So I just really love working here, and I don't know, do you have anything to add, Tay, to L&M? So do you guys have questions for us?
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. We'll first have Caitlin go from ZMC, and then we've got a queue of questions to ask all 3 of you. So we'll pass it over to Caitlin.
Thanks.
Hi guys, I don't really have anything to share screen-wise, and I'm going to keep it more so short and sweet and get to the point about hospitality, hotels, and kind of what we're doing here at CMC Hotels. So pretty much, who hasn't been to a hotel? We all kind of know the gist of it, whether you are getting the services that you expect or maybe you didn't expect and it was really memorable and kind of wowed you. There are certain things and certain questions that you really have to ask yourself in hospitality on making sure that you're kind of keeping updated with what your guest is expecting of you and making sure that you kind of wow them every time, because that's how you're going to get them to keep coming back to you and your hotel specifically. And as times are changing, obviously now the hotel industry definitely has to change, and we have to keep adjusting to make sure that we are keeping up with what is needed from us and what we can provide for our guests and our employees as well. So a lot of different areas are kind of touched base in hospitality. There are accounting ends, HR ends, general managers and assistant managers, director of operations. They all have to touch base with each department. And so not only financially, but you're going to be there with onboarding, training, any type of development. And if a hotel specifically has maybe a restaurant or a certain aspect to it that a lot of other hotels may not, then it's going to be more unique. But it's really awesome that we can go ahead and touch base in computer systems, marketing, sales. So a lot of the different things that people fall in love with, go to school for, you can do it all in hospitality, and it can be shifted and adjusted to whatever you want it to be at that hotel, which is another unique aspect. Each general manager might run their hotel a little bit differently than other ones. So you can really make it what you want it to. I really like that a lot of our current employees do range, and we are very diverse. So we have high school students, we have college students, we have mothers and fathers, we have people that have been here since they were teenagers that also moved up within the company, and now they're general managers. I think it's really nice too that you can have the opportunities to grow and keep learning and moving up within the company. As of right now, we have a lot of department head, guest service positions open. We also have a manager and training position that is basically going to take someone with not a lot of experience, and we're going to go ahead and kind of mold and develop for like a 6-month program and teach them and give them the hands-on experience to potentially be a department head or a general manager one day. a lot of the times we're doing internal hiring, but there are also a lot of different opportunities now with COVID. Since there was a huge change in demand for hospitality, we're now coming back to our peak seasons and we need to do a lot of hiring. So this is why we're definitely looking for more people, and especially with management roles, we want to go ahead and fill it with people who would like to learn and then stick with us for a very long time. Obviously, with these positions, most of them in the managerial positions are going to be full-time, which come with the benefits of medical, dental, paid time off, and we have opportunities for bonuses within the year, and we also have employee discounts on other rooms and hotels in our company, so that's always a nice perk. We're always looking for people with really great attitudes. And I think that's the biggest aspect that we look for in hospitality, is making sure that the attitudes and customer service is there. We want someone that's going to have a nice smile, that can go ahead and accommodate or help with any of the solutions that guests may need, also be there for the employees and helping each other out. And we're very team orientated. We, at least for me personally, and I've heard it from a lot of other people, I think it's a huge team. I've always had help. They're really good at making sure that if you do not understand, if you need anything, that we do it as a team, that they're there to make sure that you succeed in whatever project you're going for. And I think that it is an awesome environment and culture when we all get to have fun and do our jobs, but also kind of be there as a team and a family. Kind of like L&M, we do have our little holiday parties. We go ahead and we have corporate stuff, but also each hotel individually with their general manager, going back to kind of like a family aspect. They can go ahead and have potlucks. They can have like team lunches where we provide a lunch and do a couple games and have prizes, and we kind of make sure that we acknowledge those who are doing really well in our company. And so it's a really nice atmosphere that, once again, you can kind of shift and mold to whatever the general manager would like to do. So it's always going to be a little bit different and unique to each area. ZMC Hotels is a company that has 36 to 40 hotels. We are managing a couple hotels as well. Overall, we're in 13 states, and we're always kind of looking for new improvements and keeping up with the times and making sure that our hotels are definitely what guests are expecting out of us. And I think that's pretty much it. Our interview process is pretty simple as well. And it kind of shifts from hotel to hotel and what general managers want to do. So other than that, it's going to be like a basic interview, kind of like this, but face-to-face or over the phone. And most of the time it's going to be a face-to-face where you get to come in and actually look around the property and see what you like about it, and kind of dive in with a general manager or a department head and make sure that it's something that is going to fit for you. But once again, it's a very diverse atmosphere, so usually people fit in quite well. And that's pretty much all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. We have a couple of questions here for everybody. One is for Kelly. Kelly, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you talk, do you guys offer internships? Do you have an internship program?
Yeah, I'm really glad that you asked, Kara, because as I was listening to Caitlin, I'm like, oh, I forgot to talk about that. We have a lot of internships, a lot with the engineering groups, accounting, HR, like admin type stuff. We also have apprenticeship programs for welding and machinists, and our steel prep area that work with lathes and mills. That is one area that's really hard to find people for. So we created our own apprenticeship programs for those. And then we also look for summer help. So if somebody needs a summer job, if they're entry level, if they just want to see what manufacturing is all about, and they want to earn some income while checking it out, That's, kind of a target for us too. It's a good segue into becoming full-time help. And then we definitely have full-time help needs everywhere. So we call them tube machine operators. So if they need to learn, how to, it's kind of specific to L&M, but just even operating equipment and machinery. We have entry levels for that. We do have openings in our steel prep, whether they're entry level or experienced. Same with machining. CNC machining is a very tight niche. Not a lot of students go through that program. And so we try to help them with that. We have a very robust training program for all of our departments. So if you don't have any experience, we'll train you from the ground up. But if you have experience, that's even better. I know a lot of students are just kind of feeling it out, seeing what's going on. Our engineering department, we always have engineering openings in our R&D department and our application engineering over the summer for internships. They are paid. That's usually a question I get a lot of. Same with accounting and same with HR. So if there is any interest there, we'd love to hear from any student that has more questions or just wants information. And then as far as R&D, if you're looking for more professional or know somebody, we do need that experience for creating machines and drafting and design, and then kind of a fabricator as well. So thanks for asking, Kara. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and how would they get in touch with you? Is there a careers page, or what's the best way for somebody to reach out?
So this is kind of exciting. We are in the middle of revamping our entire website. So if they are just inquiring and they want quick information, if they go to our website, masabi.com, they can click on the quick apply or apply now. So if they want to look at all the job descriptions and see full length, they can do that. But if they just want to talk to Tay or I, click on the quick link. It asks for your name, number, if you're interested in the hibbing plant or Eaton plant, and then what position they're looking at. They can do it that way, and we'll respond within a couple days.
Okay, perfect. And we'll pass on all that information to them as well. And this is being recorded too. So we'll email this out to everybody so they have that information. I have another question here for Caitlin. What are some of the benefits? I know you said that ZMC has a lot of properties. So if you're an employee of ZMC, what are there some hotel benefits if you traveled somewhere or anything like that?
Yeah, so we do have employee discounts. So anywhere that we have our hotels, you can go ahead and go at a discounted rate to those hotels as well.
That's always a good benefit.
That is.
Awesome. Okay, I think we have more questions here. Mark, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Okay. So with the airport authority, maybe this is for everybody, there's so many different positions. What are kind of some of the skill sets that you're hiring for right now or that you're looking for?
Yeah, it's a tough one in the airport world because if you don't have airport experience, it's not like you can go down the street and get airport experience somewhere else. Usually you're a transplant from another town. So oftentimes our recruitment and hiring strategy is based off of hiring the right person with the right skills, attributes, and qualities as an individual. We'll train them to do what we need them to do. We have a pretty expansive training program because there's nothing else out there like it, unless you're coming from a different town or a different city with a different airport background, which is unique. But most of our stuff and most of our positions that are homegrown, we bring them in as long as they have the right background, right skill set, and the willingness to learn, really, and great attitude with it. We can teach them all.
Great. And I know you said that you had an internship program. So, what's the chances of somebody who would intern to then be able to, you'd want to hire that person, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's our goal, is to build the pipeline of growth into the airport, because it is such a unique industry. To have somebody with some background, some knowledge, and some basis, it's huge. So yeah, if you come on for the summer, we have a varying kind of entry level positions, even if it's not within the authority, within the larger airport network, whether it's the airlines, the FBO, 148, the Cirrus, whatever it is. we want to continue to build that program. So yeah, we have every winter we expand our hiring program. We hire basically overhires or temporary employees to help maintain the airfield. So that'll plus up our employees to over 30. That way we can, in the event of a snowstorm, we can call in folks and kind of get what we need to do to get done. But often those times those positions and internships and entry level ones roll up into kind of management, senior management directors, things of that nature. So yeah.
Right. And I assume, I mean, once you kind of get to that level, the pay range is pretty good for this area.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You can, I mean, airports, it's a government position, an authority position. So, I mean, you start out in the, you know, anywhere from, what do you want to call it? 12, 15, 16 bucks an hour, all the way to, you can make with some of the organizations on the airfield well over 6 digits. So.
That sounds great. I have another question for Caitlin. So can you talk about the hotels that ZMC has in our North Force area, like Iron Range, Twin Ports, Northwest Wisconsin? And then are those places hiring like right now, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so no matter what, all hotels of our hotels are always going to be hiring management positions, or specific like manager and training positions aren't always going to be super common. But like I said, now it's a peak season and we are looking for that because we have been growing and getting busier. Specifically in our Lakes region, we have a hotel in Michigan. Wisconsin-wise, we have Minocqua, Spooner, Hurley. Minnesota-wise, we have Rogers down in the cities, Hibbing, so we go north, south, east, west, all over the place. And then specifically in Duluth, Minnesota here, we have the Edgewater Hotel and Water Park, which obviously is a very popular one. And then the Inn on Lake Superior, which is another really good one. The downtown Duluth Inn, the Best Western in Superior as well, right over the bridge. So we're kind of spread out all over the place. And like I stated before, each one kind of has a unique thing to it. We have another water park in Ashland, Wisconsin as well, which is pretty cool.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
I think we have a couple more questions. You guys answered so much. Your presentations were so great. Can each of you just touch, we just have a couple of minutes left. Maybe start with Mark and then go to Kelly and then Caitlin about how you get involved. I know you guys talked a lot about your culture together, but are there some things that each organization does to give back to the community, you know, as far as supporting and volunteering or anything like that? Maybe start with Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think being in the airport industry, everything that we do is in support of the customer, and that customer is the general public. So we constantly strive to quote unquote give back within our daily duties and job functions. We try to host events. You know, we are tied by government regulations. We can do what we trying to do, but it just reminded me because of the Blue Angel #7 just took off for his winter visits, but the air show this year, we do 5Ks at our second airport. So we actually own and operate Sky Harbor Airport down on Park Point as well. But we try to invite the community in, and we're always happy to do tours. And I'd say, you know, as students are looking to that next step and how they can get involved, reach out to the airport, come take a tour. I'm happy to drive anybody around the airfield. We can drive out on the runway and we can go see things and see aircraft close up. It's always fun to time it with the fighter jets taking off, and you really catch that bug. And once you get that aviation bug, it's hard to let go. But we're always as closed off and scary as we look. We try to be as opening and inviting and welcoming to anybody that is thinking of aviation as a career. So
awesome. That's a good offer. I would like to go for a ride around the airport. That sounds great. Kelly, how about you? How about L&M? Can you talk a little bit about supporting the community and maybe some volunteering that your employees do?
Absolutely. So we actually have an internal committee called the Cool Committee. It's kind of our fun committee. They kind of help us connect to some of like the Buddy Backpack program. So we work a lot with United Way, Habitat for Humanity. We also work with the Veterans Center. And then we are a really big component of supporting our youth. So we do a lot of work-based learning programs with our high schools in our area. We actually have on-the-job training for them. We give them steel. So then they create these little projects and then they send us pictures and we can share them over Facebook and social media. So those are just a few of the ways. We also do get together as groups and go like do volunteer work. So United Way is probably our biggest segue into that. And Habitat for Humanity, we go and help build houses. We do a lot of the framework. We can do some of the electrical. We've also done the Buddy Backpack program, stuffing the backpacks for the youth. Up here, we've served dinners and meals to those less fortunate. We've worked in the groups that go to the homeless shelter and the Salvation Armies, so to serve the poor. So there's just a ton of different ways that we service our community. We work with the chambers a lot, from the Virginia Chamber to the Hibbing Chamber and the Grand Rapids Chamber, and also the Blandon Foundation to be able to provide some of those services. We do a lot of sponsorships for different programs. I know we were going to do the rodeo coming to Hibbing, and we do a lot of sponsorship at the fairs, the county fairs. So there's a lot of different ways that we try to help and support our communities, and we try to funnel that through our Cool Committee here in Hibbing. And then Yankton also, you know, kind of does the same thing. We like to do the Christmas presents and adopt a family and do the angel trees and things like that. So we're always looking for different ways to support the community. So if you have an interest out there, L&M likes to support the interests of our employees. So we always like to hear about those too. So we kind of follow that direction.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds great. You guys are busy. That sounds wonderful. How about Caitlin, what does ZMC do as far as giving back to the community? I did just read in the news about the Duluth Hotel being turned into possibly a place for homeless people, but I know that ZMC does also support its employees volunteering. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so I've only been here for a couple of years, and obviously with COVID, it kind of put a damper on some of those experiences. I know from my first year, we do a lot with Bentleyville. We do a lot of hands-on volunteering with that, and that's a handful of the Duluth area hotels coming together for that. We too do adopt the family every year as a corporate in Duluth, since we are located here. The Edgewater Hotel and Water Park specifically does donations. So we get hundreds and hundreds of donation requests from 300 plus miles away of people asking for donations. So we do a lot of donating with that. Us too being very supportive of our employees, and even myself personally, I am a coordinator for a non-for-profit, and it is for RiverQuest, which we do a lot of kind of tying in with the school experience and the science end, and then the waterfront, since we do have the lake right here. We do a lot with the sixth graders, and we put on an event. And once again, having that unique value from each hotel, having the general managers and them being so willing, we can go ahead and see if anyone wants to participate, and on an individual basis, if anyone is interested or wants to, we're very supportive individually as a hotel, but as a whole, as a company, to go ahead and support our employees and anything that they want to do and help them out.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank all the employers who were here today, the Duluth Airport Authority, L&M Radio, and ZMC Hotels. These were great, and there's lots of opportunities. I mean, there's just hands-on, like right now, opportunities for our students, part of the program. So we really appreciate it. We did record this, and we will send it out to everybody. And then just one more quick reminder here that we are still accepting students into the program until April 19th. So anybody who has friends or anybody else who might be interested in just learning about different employers and the opportunities, please go ahead and join for another 3 weeks plus. So I think we're great, and thank you for being patient with our technical difficulties. It's the life of COVID, and we appreciate you guys hanging in there. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you so much.